Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome to the Mania Long Note Tournament 3rd edition. We are now officially in the semifinals round, and what a way to kick off the weekend than with a losers bracket match against two really good long note players. We got UmmmMrMoo going up against gaesol here. As always, my name is Sparky, and I am joined in the commentary booth by none other than Firevice. Firevice, how you doing?
Hello there, Sparky. I'm doing absolutely amazing today.
That is fantastic to hear. Looks like we have a bit of an SV chart, something we don't see all too often in the warm-ups.
Everyone warms up differently. If they want to warm up with SV, let them warm up with SV.
Yep, it's going to be the only chance they get to do something outside of the traditional long notes found in this tournament. It's a lovely little change, and who knows, maybe they use it as a way to get the reading, get their eyes prepped for what is to come. There are, this pool is a little bit, dare I say, a little bit harder than last week's pool.
Yeah, I mean, it is semis. It's gonna be a lot harder than it would be normally than quarterfinals.
For sure, and we have, as I said at the top of the broadcast, two really good long note players. We have UmmmMrMoo, a 7-key veteran, one of these stalwarts of the 7-key Canadian team for the World Cup, and a very avid 7-key long note player, and it has translated very well to their 4-key ability, able to make it this far. And gaesol also does not need any introductions here. Current part of the current reigning 4-key Mania World Cup champions of South Korea. A very good long note player as well, and has been going toe to toe with some really good long note players and coming out on top here.
Yes, this match is definitely one of those matches where you don't want to miss it. There could be many different things happening, and you'll never know if you don't watch.
For sure, and some expectations on the line here. This is, of course, as we said, an elimination match. One of these players will be going home at the end of this match. The winner will go on to face the winner of Pavin and Anto Bikasi.
Yeah, a lot of very high stakes right now, especially in semis week. Losing now would be kind of sad, but you made it this far, so you gotta give some applause.
For sure, and it looks like gaesol did not have a warm-up, so we're going straight into the rolls. UmmmMrMoo winning out on that regard, 41-11. So gonna have the option to choose first or second. So they're gonna have to go first here. So they're protect. And right out of the gate, coordination 1 Vend being protected here.
Now, Sparky, hold on. Quick question, kind of. If there is someone watching right now who by chance doesn't really know the abilities of these players, what do you think to expect from this match?
We're going to see a pretty explosive match. I think it's really going to come down to who can handle the more physical maps in this pool, down in the wild cards or density. I feel like accuracies are going to start to suffer just a little bit here, just based on the raw density found in this pool. I believe I would give the edge over to gaesol just based on their performance in this last World Cup compared to UmmmMrMoo in 7-key. Don't know how much it translates more towards these more physical late game pools.
Thank you for your insights, Sparky. This will definitely set a good standard for what's to happen in this match.
Yep, and as we make our way through the protects and bans, it looks like gaesol is going to protect Inixia, wildcard 1. MrMoo is going to ban Density 1, and Coordination 2 is going to get knocked out, so all we need is Happy and Sugar Song going to get knocked out here.
Yes, and we are going straight into one of the protects right now. We've got Ven, a coordination map.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting a way to start things off here, I guess. mLN3 wanting to start with something that they're potentially more comfortable with. I believe they thought that this match was going to start a little bit later than they were expecting, so we'll be interested to see how much preparation they put into this. Probably enough to consider protecting it, and see if gaesol has as well. We are loaded into this first map. It is, of course, a best of 11, so first player to 6 points will be moving on to the second half of semifinals weekend. And as we said earlier, that loser is going to be going home here.
Yes, and right off the bat, we're seeing some real back and forth action between the leads.
Yeah, as Bancho tries to keep everything in sync out of this introduction, we see gaesol starting to eke out a bit of an advantage here. But like I said, as these pools start to get more and more physically demanding, we're going to start to see the accuracies hopefully start to drop. I say that with a word of caution. There are still some incredible players left in this tournament that will make me eat my words right as the weekend starts. And as we make our way into the second quarter of the map, we see things start to even out just a little bit here. Both players trending in at 99.6 range. gaesol still in the lead for right now.
Yes, as you can see, this is going to be a bit of a long map, 3 minutes. It's definitely pretty consistency based on coordination, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's really going to test the mental focus of both these players. Going in with only one warm-up doesn't give you a lot of time to get the fingers warm inside of the match, so you have to go with a little bit of instinct as well and just rely on your experience to get you through in the end. And right now gaesol starting to fall from their perch a little bit, was flirting with that 99.7 range down into the low 99.6s and bringing mLN3 back into the conversation here. It is inside of 0.5% going into the back half of the map, and it is up for grabs for anybody. Any 200s at this point can start swinging it one way or the other.
Yes, you're definitely right there. There's barely like 10 seconds of lead every once in a while. Even now, it's still going back and forth. The accuracies are pretty close too. It was at a 0.01 difference at one point.
Yeah, virtually gaesol gonna find the drop in the transition into the last third of the map, and that is going to give mLN3 a bit more breathing room to work with here. The accuracies are virtually tied, but as things start to get a little bit denser here, we start to see mLN3 fall in accuracy, but they're going to be buoyed by that miss from gaesol here, only just now making it back up with a 400 combo cap, getting able to stem the bleeding just a little bit here, and they need to build up that accuracy and fast. There's only a quarter map left to go here.
You are right there. If any miss from mLN3 might be able to help give gaesol a fighting chance, but at this point, we're at the last tiny slice of the map left. There isn't enough time, but accuracy is being dropped by mLN3.
But they're holding on here. There aren't enough 200s to sway things back over in gaesol's favor. So even though gaesol has the higher accuracy, that slider break is going to be their undoing here, unless there's a change here at the very end. Last inverse, everybody manages to make it through, and mLN3 going to protect their first point and make it 1-0.
Yeah, barely a 1,000 point difference. It's just that the miss was able to set gaesol's fate for losing this point.
Oh my goodness, and gaesol almost had enough of a ratio advantage to pull it back. You start to wonder if that miss was in the 50 column, if it would have made a difference here.
Yeah, you definitely never would have known. We can't really try again, since you can only play a map once unless unless disconnection happens.
You're absolutely right, and gaesol wasting no time throwing out their first pick here. Is going to be Density 3 Lamia coming out.
Yeah, density picks. They're definitely not the longest maps, but they definitely are one of the most tiring sections or categories of maps right now.
Yeah, absolutely, especially as we get into these later pools. You start to see the star rating kind of go off the charts, and I think that's just by nature of these maps. These LNs are so tightly packed together. You're playing so many bursts throughout these maps that it makes it look a lot more intimidating. But with players of this caliber, I feel like they'll be able to handle what is to come.
Yes, yes, you're right. We definitely got a bit of a rhythm game arcade portion-sized map, so there's not gonna be a lot of chances for breathing room.
Yeah, for sure. Unlike that last map that clocked in at around 3 minutes, any sort of mistake that comes out here will be punished a lot more heavily.
Yeah, and you can see right off the bat, the accuracy isn't really doing so great for gaesol at the moment, but mLN3 is holding quite strong, having 99.8.
Yeah, faring a lot better out of that introduction. Going to give mLN3 a bit of a cushion to work with. Doesn't have that miss to really propel the lead over to their side, but for the moment, just based on accuracy alone, it is about... Oh, as I say that, mLN3 does finally find the slider break going into the second quarter of the map, and that's going to give gaesol a bit of a reprieve here, a chance to catch up. The score is trending on their side now. It's just the matter of accuracy as things start to get a little bit harder to read through. It calms down after a little bit here going into the back half of the map, but it is about a 1/10 and a half in favor of mLN3, but the lead going the way of gaesol for the moment.
Yeah, you're definitely right there. mLN3 has the accuracy lead, but the combo lead is definitely much more important somewhat in this point right now. It's because it's at gaesol's advantage.
Yeah, it'll be all eyes on gaesol, see if they can maintain this tiny sliver that they have to work with. Oh, and mLN3 finds another break on the transition going to the last part of the map. Oh, that one's gonna hurt now as things start to trend over to the right-hand side, and it is the break gaesol needed. It was starting to look a little bit dicey there as mLN3 started to claw back some of that accuracy from the miss and started trending over to the left, but that second one's going to really do some damage here going to the last quarter of the map. Their accuracy now virtually tied with each other.
Yeah, mLN3 found another break in there, and right now there isn't really a lot of chances for gaesol to break at this point. There isn't really enough time for the map. This point's going to gaesol, going back 1-1, all even.
Yeah, last couple of patterns to read through. The damage has been done. mLN3 barely making it back over that 400 combo cap, and that is going to be a heck of a response from gaesol here. Looked a little bit dicey there for certain moments just based on the accuracy alone, but those misses, those slider breaks actually from mLN3 giving gaesol back their point, and we are tied 1-1.
Yes, yes. This match is already showing that it's gonna be a really close match, especially when the stakes are this high in loser semis.
Yeah, for sure. Every point matters. And thankfully, no breakpoints have gone either way. And mLN3 going to change the tempo a little bit here. It's going to go for wild card 4. Orca is going to come out here.
Yeah, wild cards. It's just you don't really know what you can't expect the basics. It doesn't really fit into any of the categories. So it just plops here.
Yeah, you get a little bit of everything, and it feels like these two are really trying to scope each other out right now. We've seen a coordination, we've seen a density, now we dive into the wild card. I feel like they're trying to find a way in as we make our way later into the match. And it's going to be wild card 4 here for mLN3's second pick.
Yeah, you're definitely right with testing what might be good and what might be bad. I might not even be surprised if one of them goes for a technical pick later on.
For sure. And as we make our way through this introduction, as you were saying, the wild cards love to throw all sorts of aspects, all sorts of techniques at you, all sorts of mapping styles as well. And we saw gaesol build up a bit of a lead here, and both players trading, taking equal amounts of damage for the moment, down to that 99.3 range as things start to pick up here.
Yeah, wild cards are definitely not the ones you can be the most prepared for. As you can see, the accuracy isn't really doing so great at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like that could also be attributed to the OD8 of this map, so those release timings start to become even more important as you get deeper and deeper into the map, and we are still virtually neck and neck. Mr. Moo clawing out about 0.1% of a lead, but that is not a lot to hang your hat on as we make our way into the second third of the map. This is still anyone's game here.
Yeah, it is a bit longer than our last density pick, but it isn't by a lot. So errors can still be fatal at this point.
Yeah, for sure. A barrage of 200 coming out from UmmmMrMoo, gonna damage their action just a little bit, but they have been able to claw back some of it to keep themselves ahead of gaesol for the moment. Last third of the map still to come, and I mean, things staying relatively the same. UmmmMrMoo still on track to defend their second point here, but there's still quite a bit of map left to contend with.
Yes, we're about 2/3 of the map done right now. This point is kind of going to Mr. Moo, but only by like a couple thousand points.
Yeah, this is not an insurmountable lead by any stretch of the imagination. gaesol still very much in it if they can hold on to their full combo. And let's just talk about that fact for just a moment. Both players still holding on to their FCs for the moment. Going into the last sliver of map, there's not a lot of time left for gaesol. They're going to need UmmmMrMoo to find a slip up here and fast if they want to try and take this breakpoint away, but that is not that window of opportunity is quickly closing as we make our way further and further. There aren't a lot of notes left to contend with here.
Yeah, the last tiny bit of the map, it doesn't really do much. Then this point goes to Mr. Moo by only like 4,000.
Oh my goodness. But the first thing that we've seen, UmmmMrMoo actually winning in terms of ratio. So maybe they found a bit of an avenue for later on down the match if they need to pull out some more picks here. Yeah, it's 2-1 now.
This is Mr. Moo's pick. Oh wait, no, it's gaesol's pick, and you're going, hold on, wildcard 4.
Wait, they just
they type wildcard 4?
Redo.
You can't do that.
It's against the rules. Okay, we're running it back. We're gonna play Orca again.
Yes. Definitely subtract that point back.
Yeah, I think they realized that wildcard 4 was actually the one that maybe they had the map in the wrong spot. Maybe they were practicing and
yes, slip-ups happen, don't worry, that it's normal.
yeah, we're all human. It's actually going to be wildcard 3 coming out here, so Super Emulator staying at wildcard pool. This might actually be prove to be a pretty important pick here.
Yeah, we definitely saw in the last pick that the wildcards can be really close. So maybe gaesol's thought process is that they might be able to sneak a point in from the same pool.
You're absolutely right. It remains to be seen. The OD is still on 8, so the release timing is going to be a little bit rougher than some might be used to. And we saw the accuracy damage throughout wildcard 4. It was really just on the fact that both players FC'd that made it relevant. But as we make our way into wildcard 3, it is our 4th map of this best of 11. Both players still neck and neck. UmmmMrMoo trying to get the first breakpoint. gaesol trying to keep this thing level as long as they can.
Yeah, accuracy lead goes to gaesol for a minute, but the scores aren't that far off. For now.
For now, that's the best thing to add to the analysis for the moment, as we see both players basically neck and neck. Once again, they're virtually tied.
Yeah, right now their accuracy is probably really close. It's only off by like 0.1, 0.01, 0.02. It's still a very close battle at the moment.
Yeah, they're separated by maybe a couple of 300s one way or the other, a couple of 200s maybe, but as we transition into the second quarter of the map, we see UmmmMrMoo have a bit of a rougher time getting into this calmer section. Gonna fall just that tiny bit behind to give gaesol a tiny bit of a lead here, but it is not, I mean, dare I say, it's not even a lead at this point as we transition into the second quarter of the map at all, but UmmmMrMoo is gonna find another slider break.
rather unfortunate miss at the moment from mLN3. Right now, their main goal is to hope that gaesol finds an unlucky miss too.
And as we make our way into the back half of the map, that is going to be the cushion that gaesol has to work with. These two have been basically following each other in terms of accuracy. We dare say that that is going to cancel itself out, and this lead that gaesol has to work with is just off of that break alone. Last third of the map still to come. Things are going to pick up one more time before we end the song, and gaesol picking up the accuracy lead now is going to be able to put some distance between mLN3 and themselves. Now mLN3 is very comfortably above that 400 combo cap.
Yeah. Now, accuracy is still tied at this point. It's a 0.02. Oh, never mind. Wait, gaesol misses! This is not the right time for gaesol to miss. This gives mLN3 the perfect time to make a comeback.
Oh, and that lead immediately transferred over, but mLN3 finds another slider break towards the end of the map, and now everything gets thrown out the window. gaesol is back over that 400 combo cap, so they're going to be able to take advantage of this and run with it for the moment. And as the map begins to come to an end, cannot afford to find any more drops this late on, but I think gaesol has done just enough to eke it out. It was looking dicey there for a moment, but gaesol keeps it tied 2-2.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. That was definitely one of the closer matches. Misses were flying out left and right, but it's very, like, 4,000 point difference still. Still going to gaesol, though, bringing it back tied.
Wow, that is incredible. That one bad break from mLN3 very late on, making all the difference here. They were this close to finishing the song out. Not going to happen though. The good thing is that it was gaesol's pick, so no breakpoints, traded over, and we're now effectively in a best of 7.
That's right, they're still tied, but at this point, the opportunities are getting smaller and smaller to try and take a break point off of each other.
Yeah,
Right now we're... Sorry, you go first. Oh,
Okay.
never mind.
It looks like it's going to be Coordination 3 coming out, and I was about to say mLN3 actually taking a bit of a moment to maybe think this pick over as to where they want to approach next. They have traded points on the wild cards and winning their own respective sections on either side of the map pool, and it looks like they're going to want to go back for the coordination picks.
Yeah, you're definitely right. We're finishing out this coordination pool first. We're gonna have to see what to expect right now.
Yeah, this one pretty tricky to get through, especially for a coordination pick. It'll be interesting to see how the players handle it. I think mLN3 has the accuracy advantage on these less physical picks. It's gonna be up to them to maintain the purchase. gaesol finds a very early break on these shield patterns here.
Yeah, this is not the perfect time to miss, but just traded right back by mLN3.
Yeah, but I think that was a cleaner drop from mLN3 compared to gaesol as they managed to maintain the lead, and it's very early on. I don't think either player was up over that 400 combo cap, so not really going to be able to take advantage. But as gaesol approaches it first, going to be able to cut into this lead before mLN3 takes it right back. Now that both players are back up over that 400 combo cap, going into the second quarter of the map, and these patterns are so hard to read through.
Yeah, you're right, and I think these patterns are just as hard to get accuracy on. They're both in the 99.3, 99.4. It's not really looking good right now.
Yeah, it's one of those where if you start any of those bursts off on the wrong foot, you can say goodbye to that entire section. But for right now, both players able to stabilize after that little bit of a rocky start, going into the back half. Oh, and as I say that, mLN3 does find the slider break. Is going to hand the lead immediately over to gaesol by about 0.1%, and they're going to be able to run with this for the moment as mLN3 tries to make their way back up over that 400 combo cap.
You're definitely right. As we enter the second half of the map, things can definitely still change, but right now, this point is still going to gaesol as of the moment. Right now, we're getting a break. Break is over.
Yeah, a chance for the players to recompose themselves, take stock of the situation, maybe shake off those early misses. Right now, advantage the way of gaesol by about 7,000 points. That is still able to be caught up by mLN3 as we make our way deeper into the map. The accuracies are very close. It's really just that extra break giving gaesol a bit more leverage to work with here.
Yeah, you're definitely right. That miss from mLN3 definitely gave gaesol some extra time to extend the lead, but the lead still isn't that far off, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, but as we make our way into the last eighth of the map, it looks like the window of opportunity is closing, and barring a break this late on, it would be catastrophic for gaesol if they were to find it, but I don't think there's really any more tricks left up this map's sleeve outside of these bursts, and they've managed to find a groove.
Wait a minute.
That?
Is there enough time? Wait a minute. This can be a close one.
Oh
Oh,
my god!
Jesus.
Oh my god! 412 points. I actually I cursed both of them equally. That was 1-1 in terms of curses. gaesol managing to take the first break point in this match and make it 2-3.
Yeah, you're definitely right. A 412 point difference is definitely not is very close for a point lead.
Wow, that I think if you had maybe 2 or 3 more notes at the end of that map, mLN3 might have actually had enough time to take it back. That 300 count is scarily close.
Yeah, that's definitely the closest the closest difference so far. This is the first match of the week as far as I know. So there are still chances that we might get a lead that's very much smaller than this.
For sure, it looks like gaesol's gonna opt to stay in the wildcard pool. It's going to be wildcard 2, Heaven's Door coming out here to try and capitalize on that breakpoint that they've gotten.
Yeah, and mLN3 definitely is gonna have to work hard just to try and make it back, bring it back to a tie.
Yeah, the coordination pick didn't go their way here, but they have shown some prowess on these wild cards. So definitely capable of taking it back to try and restore parity here. But if gaesol's picking it, they probably had some preparation on this. But as I say that, they're both virtually tied once again very early on into this map.
Yeah, it's definitely a really short map right now, just barely eking by for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's crucial neither player finds any major slip-ups. mLN3 having a bit of a rough transition out of that first quarter of the map. Gonna hand gaesol a bit of a lead here, 2/10 to work with, and barring the instances where either player has missed, this is arguably one of the wider margins that we have seen.
Yeah, you're definitely right here. It's a .13 or .12 accuracy lead right now. Still going in gaesol's favor, but there's still definitely enough time for mLN3 to make a comeback.
Yeah, going into the back half of the map, we do see things start to even out just a little bit. Once again, gaesol falling from their perch just a little bit here, but still able to keep themselves ahead for the moment as we get into the last third of the map, and we start to see things start to even out once again. It's 200%. They are virtually tied. It is 100%. They are now basically tied. As we make our way into the last quarter of the map, we are in for a photo finish here, folks. It is up to gaesol to maintain this accuracy lead that they've had, but it now transfers over to mLN3 for just the briefest moment, and it's starting to become a little bit wider as things start to close out here.
Yeah, any miss right now is definitely gonna seal the fate of one player, but right now, it's going back and forth. There might be is there enough time? Who's winning this one? Whoa, okay.
That's too close for comfort. Where did those 50s come from?
Yeah,
Excuse me?
that's. Wait a minute. That's
Oh my goodness.
it's not as close as the previous match to like 412, but it's still a very close match.
That is insane. Any 200 drops from mLN3, we have a completely different story here. But as it stands, mLN3, despite giving up that breakpoint on Coordination 3, takes it right back and makes this a best of 5 with mLN3 to pick, and they're going for the density. Density 2 coming out here. It's going to be Phoenix.
Yes, yes, we're going back to the density picks. There's still definitely enough. There's still a lot of picks here to make this a very diverse match. Definitely testing out the different types of maps right now. Seeing what map they can go for, what map is their best choice. This is the first match of the week, by the way.
Yeah, this is indeed the first match of the weekend, and oh boy, what a way to start it off here as we get the correct song loaded up here. As I said earlier, this is now effectively a best of 5. Gotta win the next 3 picks. Or
Yeah.
3 picks.
Yeah, the room for error is definitely much smaller, but it's definitely not impossible to make a comeback.
For sure. And it looks like the players are ready. We're gonna get into the 7th map of this best of 11. To think we have made it this far and we're still tied. Usually somebody has pulled a bit ahead in earlier rounds. Not the case here. As we start to close ranks, the skill sets start, or the skill level of the players start to even out. This is quite the test for both players. The fact that we have to say goodbye to one of them at the end of this is just a testament to how deeply stacked this tournament has been. And oh boy, what are these accuracies out of this introduction?
Yes, yeah, you're definitely right. The act is too close for comfort for both players. Lead can still go to either one. It's dependent ratios and like 200s at this point.
Yeah, there was a bit of a rush from gaesol there out of the transition into the back half of the first quarter. And now the accuracy lead goes over to mLN3, but this is, once again, a very slender advantage. Dare I say, they are tied once again going into the second quarter of the map, and we see the scores.
Yeah, it's right now it's like a 6 or 400-ish point lead for mLN3, but it went back from it.
Yeah, every single judgment so hard to keep track of. For every 300, there's a 320. For every 200, there's an equal 200 traded back. And as we make our way into the second third of the map, we start to see mLN3 pull ahead just a little bit here. 500% to work with. As we see a barrage of 300 start to come out from gaesol here. They're going to drop into the low 99.7s and give mLN3 the largest lead they've had to work with here, 0.1%. And the fact that that is the largest lead we have seen so far on this map is scary, if I do say so myself.
Normally these picks have been really close. I don't think they've gotten to like 5 digits before. Maybe 1 pick, but like it's always been 4-digit or even 3-digit at one point.
Yeah, I think the largest margin was like 4,000 points, and that was off of a singular slider break. And as we make our way into the last third of the map, we see, once again, somebody falling from their perch and the other one rising to meet them here. Oh, and as I say that, on the roll, gaesol finds the miss into the transition, and that is going to give mLN3 a bit of a cushion to work with going to the last quarter of the map.
Yeah, right now mLN3's main priority is to maintain that score, because any miss might bring that back to gaesol.
You're absolutely right. Now, if you are to find a drop, you need to make sure that is the cleanest drop of your life. But for right now, mLN3 still holding on to the full combo here. Last 8th of the map still to go. The good thing about these density maps is getting back up over that 400 combo cap to get the full credit is very easy. We see gaesol back into the 4-digit combo, but the damage has been done for the moment. Last little map left to go. And as it stands, mLN3 on their way to getting themselves 1 pick, 1 point closer to that match victory.
You are definitely right there. Any miss right now is going to be crucial, but at this point, I don't see it happening.
Oh, that is a ridiculous score. Wait, what?
That's almost a score v1 SS. Hold on.
We are in semifinals, my guy. What are you doing? V1, almost V1 double S'ing, a density map.
Yeah, this isn't really supposed to happen. Semis is a really hard. This is a very hard thing to do in semis of all places.
Hats off. That's one of those scores where you're just like, okay, I got beat good there. And the good thing for gaesol though, that was on mLN3's pick. No breakpoints given away. But they're gonna stick with the
Yeah,
density here. It's going to be density 4.
finishing out that density pool for Chura.
And both players currently avoiding the tech maps. They might feel that they're too risky to go for, especially this late on. But outside of this, there's only one wild card left. They're going to have to go into the tech picks eventually.
Yeah, at least one tech map is going to be played at sooner or later. They're just gonna have to decide when.
Yeah, but with that being said, Density 4 is loaded up. I think this is the shortest map we've had so far in this match.
Yeah, I think it is. It doesn't even pass 2 minutes. That's probably the shortest one so far.
Yeah, judgment at this on a map this short are going to be absolutely crucial. You want to keep that 200 count to an absolute minimum. And as we load in, it's going to be up to the players to maintain their nerve. You can imagine the nerves are starting to build up here as we get later and later. Nobody really able to pull ahead to eke out an advantage.
Yes, we're getting straight into the map right now. It's very back and forth-ish, but right now it's a very good athlete for gaesol.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more comfortable on these bursty inverse-like patterns as we make our way into the second third of the map. That being said, mLN3 still staying right behind them, and that has been the story between these two players as gaesol finds a bit of an accuracy drop.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the hardest declines in accuracy I've seen in a while.
Yeah, that's the case with some of these density picks. You start off any sliver of a section on the wrong foot, and that entire pattern just goes to waste as gaesol begins the recovery climb, still very crucially holding on to the full combo here. It would be a lot different if they had broken. It keeps them in with a bit of a shot here, but there's only a quarter map, and gaesol finds the break.
Another one
Another
too!
route. And that is going to extend the lead over to mLN3. And oh boy, this is going from bad to worse. Is something going on with gaesol here? Do they see the writing on the wall this late on into the pick?
gaesol just let go.
Yeah, that might have been a little bit of frustration coming out from gaesol here, realizing that they were holding on to a really good run. That little transition might have shooken them just a little bit here. And mLN3 taking the break point to make it match point. It is now 5-3.
Yeah, and it's mLN's pick next, so mLN's got a lot of leeway to make the right choice.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might have been just like either they were shaken by the transition where the accuracy drop happened, or there was a lag spike.
Oh wait, that scores 1-200 as well.
Oh my god, what are these runs from mLN? So it looks like we have. Go ahead.
We got. You do it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say we got 3 tech maps. We got the 1 wild card left in the pool. Onyxia has not been picked yet. If they want to avoid the tech maps.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Onyxia was a protect as well.
Yeah, I think that was gaesol's protect, but that is not going to be the case here. Irrelevant for the moment. Tech 1 is going to be the pick.
Yeah, with these tech maps, there's gonna be a lot more complicated things in there, like rhythms.
Yeah, the rhythms do definitely start to get a lot more complicated on these tech picks. And even then, just the patterning, just so layered sometimes on these picks that it just becomes hard to read through. And if you get uncomfortable for just a brief moment, it can really throw things off.
Yes, yes. Technical picks are definitely probably one of the hardest in my opinion. We're getting into the map now. Match point for UmmmMrMoo. They need to win this, or else they give gaesol another chance to bring it back to tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's still on the cards. We saw it happen earlier this match. mLN3 giving away breakpoint and winning it back. Now it is gaesol's turn, giving away the breakpoint to try and take it back here. And we see a strong start from gaesol. Are they still holding on to 100% accuracy? No, they find a 300 through this introduction. They are indeed human, but they have built up a bit of an accuracy lead going into the second quarter of the map to work with. It's 0.2% for them going deeper into this pick.
Yes, yes, their accuracy is definitely going to drop really hard for gaesol, but that's kind of expected when you play tech picks like these.
Yeah, these release timings are incredibly abrasive, and the starts as well. So many grace notes littered throughout, and mLN3 is actually going to take the accuracy for the moment going into this inverse break. Second third of the map still to come, but this is, as we have said throughout this entire match, such a fragile lead to work with.
Yeah, there isn't really a lot of error for UmmmMrMoo to make. Especially in the fact that UmmmMrMoo is on match point, they need to probably play to perfection in order to try and secure this point unless gaesol makes an unfortunate break somewhere.
Yeah, but for right now, they are still neck and neck, 100% separating these two. But mLN3 is going to find the break going into the last quarter of the map, and this is the break that gaesol needed to keep themselves alive in this match.
gaesol needs to win this so that they can make one more pick and try and bring it back to tiebreaker.
They're still in it for the moment, holding on to the full combo, unfazed by all of these grace notes, able to handle it with relative ease as they still manage to hold on to the full combo. Last eighth of the map still to come. The accuracies are tied, but that slider break and that second one is going to be the nail in the coffin for this pick. gaesol on the brink of elimination is going to find it within the zone. Oh my god, wait, no!
What happened?
What happened? Oh no! That had to have been a lag spike. That is... Oh no!
One of the worst times for that to happen!
There is no way that wasn't a hardware issue. They were doing so well. They had it. It was right there.
Yeah, lag spikes are... Oh, wait a minute. Lag spikes are definitely one of the things that can definitely make or break a run. This is an example of breaking. If the referee's right and is saying that gaesol surrendered, that would have been a horrible time to surrender.
Yeah, I feel like it might have been one of those cases where they might have felt the break and they thought that it might have been over at that point. That, or like I said, it might have been a technical issue, but regardless, there has to be a winner in these matches, and mLN3 gave away that breakpoint early, managed to save it and bring it back, and now they're moving on to the second half of the semifinals weekend.
Yeah, mLN3's got one more match to go.
Yep, and it is going to be against the winner of the next match that we're having in, oh boy, quite a bit of time. About 7 hours. It's going to be on to Bikasi going up against Pavin to determine who is going to be going up against mLN3 for a shot finals weekend. As you can see on screen, not a lot of matches this week, and we're starting to thin the herd further and further, some conditional matches, but outside of that, there's really not a lot left this weekend.
Yeah, you're definitely right, but it's also semis, so you really gotta weed out the tiniest of mistakes in the players. As you can see, we've got some matches here that I'm kind of excited to see. We got Ting Momentum versus Apple. We got Still Hoska Elsa's match. That's coming in about 11 hours. Stay tuned for that. Especially for Juliet Girls match, I forgot a lot of names.
No worries. But with that being said, that will do it for us here. A very early match to kick the weekend off, but don't worry, we got plenty more action for y'all here. Stay tuned. We'll see you guys in about 7 hours.